This question is related to isotopes, ions, isotopic symbols, and the numbers of subatomic particles that make up an atom. So each row is specific to a different isotope, and we're given some information about the isotope, and we want to fill in the other parts of the table. So if we start with the first row, the easiest thing to figure out is the number of protons. So remember that the atomic number and the number of protons are always the same thing. So if the atomic number is 35, then I know that there are also 35 protons. The next one that we can figure out is the mass number. So remember that the mass number is defined as the number of protons plus the number of neutrons. So I just add 35 plus 44, I get 79. So the mass number of this isotope is 79. So now we can go ahead and write the isotopic symbol for this row. So I can use the atomic number, go look at the periodic table, see which element is atomic number 35, and it turns out that that's bromine. So I'll write the symbol for bromine. In the upper left-hand corner, we write the mass number. So that we know that the mass number is 79, so I'll write 79 in the upper right-hand corner. Upper left-hand corner. In the lower left-hand corner, we write the atomic number. Sometimes we leave this off because if we know that it's bromine, we know that the atomic number is 35 by looking at the periodic table. But sometimes we like to go ahead and write the atomic number down there as well. And the last thing we need to do is put the charge. So to determine the charge, I need to look at the number of protons and the number of electrons. Remember that the number of protons can't change for an element, but the numbers of electrons can. For a neutral atom, the number of protons has to be the same as the number of electrons. In this case, they're not, right? The atom has gained one electron. Because electrons have a negative charge, that means that this atom has obtained a -1 charge. So we write a -1 in the upper right-hand corner. If it's just -1, then we don't put the 1, we just put the minus sign. If it had lost an electron, it would be positive, and we put a positive sign there. All right, let's go down to the middle row. So here we're given the isotopic symbol, and we want to fill in the rest. So the atomic number is given in the lower left-hand corner. If that was not given, we would just look on the periodic table, find Hg, which is mercury, and see what its atomic number was. In this case, it's easier. We're given that, so we can go ahead and put the atomic number there. The mass number is what's written in the upper left-hand corner. That's 202, so we know the mass number. We know that the atomic number and the number of protons is always the same. So if the atomic number is 80, the number of protons is 80. The number of neutrons, remember that the mass number is the number of protons plus the number of neutrons. So if I just subtract 80 from 202, I get 122, which is the number of neutrons. Finally, to figure out the number of electrons, a neutral mercury atom would have the same number of protons and electrons. However, in this case, we know that it's +2. That means it's lost 2 electrons because electrons are negatively charged. If we lose those negative things, I have more protons than electrons, and it has a positive charge. So if it's lost 2 electrons, then it has 78 electrons. All right, if we do the final row of the table, I think the easiest one to figure out is the atomic number. If the number of protons is 15, then the atomic number is also 15. The number of neutrons, if the mass number is 31 and it has 15 protons, 31 minus 15 is 16. So now we can go ahead and write down the symbol for this isotope. So I need to go to the periodic table, find out which element is number 15. Turns out that's phosphorus. So I'll put the P for the atomic symbol. I'll write the mass number in the upper left-hand corner, 31, and I'll go ahead and write the atomic number in the lower left-hand corner, 15. Now let's double check the charge. This isotope has 15 protons and 15 electrons, so I have the same number, so it's neutral, so I don't put anything in the upper right-hand corner. When they're neutral, we just leave that spot blank.